What would you do if your life challenged all medical and social logic from day one? Today, you'll see people who are true living miracles. From those born with extremely rare conditions to those who puzzle others with their bodies or lifestyle, these are the 15 incredible people who are one in a million. People who shock, amaze, and will make you see life through pretty different eyes. Number 15. Alejandro Ramos. In late 2013, Alejandro was diving 36 meters deep off the coast of Peru, harvesting mussels like he had 100 times before. Then disaster came. A boat's propeller sliced through the oxygen hose, connecting him to the surface. In seconds, Alejandro had to ascend far too quickly without time to release nitrogen from his bloodstream. The gas formed deadly bubbles, swelling inside his body. When it was over, he carried 30 kilograms of trapped gas in his chest and arms. Pain became his new normal. Moving and breathing hurt. Survival meant painkillers and an infinite treatment plan involving over 100 hyperbaric chamber sessions, just to shrink the gas bubbles enough for surgery. That surgery is still a long way off, but he's not giving up. Alejandro's body betrayed him in one creepy moment. But now, inch by inch, session by session, he's determined to take it back, fighting for the life that almost slipped away 36 meters beneath the vast sea. Number 14. Huang Chunchai. Few conditions reshape a life as completely as neurofibromatosis did for Huang. By his early 30s, a big tumor, stretching from his face to his waist, had grown to nearly 25 kilograms. It distorted his features, bent his posture, and made walking or sleeping a daily battle. His family, poor and overwhelmed, could do little. For years, Huang lived inside that weight, physically and emotionally. People stared, kids hid, and he carried it all quietly. Finally, in 2007, help arrived. The local government stepped in and funded a series of 4 major surgeries. Piece by piece, surgeons removed 21 kilograms of tumor tissue. The relief was immediate and overwhelming. For the first time in decades, Huang felt light enough to move without dragging a burden behind him. His face emerged again. His life reopened. While the scars remain, they mark survival, not shame. After years defined by a tumor, he finally founded what it felt like to be himself again. Number 13. Aline Cerquera Leite. Aline's life was ordinary until age 3. Then everything changed. What started as cataracts in her left eye turned out to be the first sign of neurofibroma plexiform, a rare condition that causes aggressive tumor growth. Slowly, tumors crept across her face, altering not just how she looked, but how she lived. Surgery after surgery followed, each one fighting to contain what couldn't be fully stopped. Then came the worst news. One tumor had reached her optic nerve. Operating could cost her eyesight or her life. Doctors warned that complications were almost certain. And yet, Aline stood her ground. Every day is a climb, but she faces it head-on. Her face may change, but her courage never does. With every scar, she claims her story. Aline doesn't chase normal. She redefines it. In the face of something so visibly difficult, she's found a quiet power. The choice to hope anyway, and to keep searching for beauty where others might not look. Number 12. Sammy Basso. Sammy always knew his time was ticking faster than most. Diagnosed with Progeria, his cells aged rapidly due to a single DNA mutation, just one. But he never let the countdown define him. Instead, he chased meaning. Sammy earned degrees in natural sciences and molecular biology, then became a driving force behind a treatment that gave Progeria patients 2 more years of life. That's no small thing. For families, those years mean birthdays and holidays. While others worried about his future, Sammy focused on changing it. He spoke publicly, worked with researchers, and lit the way for others like him. On October 5, 2024, Sammy passed away from heart complications. But his legacy didn't. Before he left, he said he was proud to know his work brought hope, and that someday, being born with Progeria wouldn't mean a death sentence. He left this creepy world with purpose fulfilled, and the world is better because he was in it. Number 11. Arun Rajasingh. At birth, doctors told Arun's parents he wouldn't live past a few weeks. He had a mysterious condition that caused his right leg to grow uncontrollably. Today, at 34, that leg weighs over 100 kilograms. No one's given a clear diagnosis, and he can't afford to travel outside India for answers. But Arun didn't stop at survival. He learned to walk, to study, and to rise. Despite daily pain and limited movement, he earned a degree in engineering and founded a software firm running everything from home. His leg may anchor him physically, but mentally, he's miles ahead. What amazes people isn't just his endurance, it's his refusal to fold under the weight of something no one could name. He wakes up every day with the same mission, to live the life he was never supposed to have. Arun doesn't chase pity. He builds legacy. And with each step, slow, heavy, defiant, he proves he's not just living with his condition, he's conquering it. Number 10. Chen Tuanji. Chen spent most of her childhood pulling herself across the floor with her hands. She had genu recurvatum, a condition that forced her knees to bend backward so severely she couldn't stand or lie flat. Her family lacked the money for corrective surgery, so she became known in her village as the girl who crawled. It wasn't ridicule, just a painful label wrapped around her daily reality. Everything changed when her story reached the media. Donations poured in, and Chen was finally able to travel to Taiwan for treatment. There, she underwent 7 major surgeries and 10 months of rehabilitation. The transformation was extraordinary. Slowly, she learned to stand. Then walk proudly. She grew 30 centimeters after her legs were corrected, and with her new strength came a new purpose. She finished high school and is now studying social work. Chen wants to use her journey to lift others who feel stuck at the bottom. She knows what it means to rise. Number 9. Rihanna Botha. Rihanna was born in South Africa with Sturge-Weber syndrome, a rare condition that builds a deep red birthmark covering half her face. It affected more than her skin. It damaged the blood vessels in her right eye and caused glaucoma from childhood. But even as a little girl, Rihanna carried a spark. She was outgoing, funny, and unafraid to be seen. Her confidence drew people toward her instead of pushing them away. Still, adolescence tested her. She began hiding her mark behind makeup, not out of vanity, but fear. Fear of judgment, fear of being too different. Over time, that fear transformed into power. Rihanna didn't just accept her look, she mastered it. She became a professional makeup artist, using her own face as proof that beauty doesn't fit a rule book. She teaches people to highlight their features instead of hiding behind them. Rihanna's message is simple. Your differences aren't flaws. They're your fingerprint. And she wears hers with pride. Number 8. Matias Fernandez Borzaco. Matias belongs to a group so small it almost sounds unreal. Just 65 people worldwide live with juvenile hyaline fibromatosis. At 23, he's not defined by the nodules on his skin, the infections that come back without mercy, or the joint contractures that turn every movement into a negotiation with pain. He sleeps each night connected to a respirator, knowing there's a chance he might not wake up. Yet he greets each morning with humor, stubborn optimism, and a fierce desire to live. Matias poured his experience into a book, Formas Propias, Diario de un Cuerpo en Guerra, where sarcasm and honesty help him dissect fear and resilience. Outside the pages, he studies journalism, raps with startling speed, and laughs with his siblings like any young man chasing joy. What makes Matthias extraordinary isn't the creepy condition he carries. It's the way he refuses to let it strip meaning from his life, choosing purpose instead of despair. She is rare. Number 7. Tanya Renee Meisenbach. Tanya was only a teen when fire changed all. Trapped in the flames of a bonfire accident in 2018, she suffered fourth-degree burns across her upper body. She spent 2 months in a coma and woke up to a face and chest permanently reshaped by trauma. The physical pain was brutal, but the emotional challenge cut even deeper. Her reflection became something she didn't recognize. But instead of retreating, Tanya chose a different path. She began learning makeup, not to hide, but to reclaim. Through tutorials and practice, she discovered how to highlight her features in ways that made her feel powerful again. Over time, she transformed into a skilled makeup artist, using her platform to teach others that scars don't disqualify beauty. They deepen it. Now Tanya speaks openly about healing, identity, and self-worth. She reminds people that visible scars are only one part of a person's story. Strength is the part that shines. Number 6. Maria Fernandez. Maria made history, and she did it in less time than it takes to finish a coffee. In just 37 minutes, this woman from India gave birth to 11 healthy babies. No surgery, no artificial assistance, just one mind-blowing natural delivery at Riley Children's Hospital. And here's the jaw-dropper. 6 of those babies are identical. That kind of birth is so rare, most doctors will never see it once in their career. But Maria didn't just experience it. She handled it with grace and strength that stunned the medical world. Dr. William Roberts, who oversaw the delivery, said, "They came out literally one after another." Her story rocketed into the Guinness World Records, but for Maria, it wasn't about numbers. It was about life. 11 of them, all at once. In a world filled with complications and chaos, her story is pure wonder. She didn't just beat the odds, she multiplied them by 11. And yes, you're going to want to sit down for what's next. Number 5. Ada Thompson. Before Ada could crawl, her right leg had already begun to swell. She was born with primary congenital lymphedema, a condition that's shaped nearly every part of her life. Her parents had to adjust everything just to meet her basic needs. As she grew, things didn't get easier. Jeans never fit. Shoes weren't made for her. Classmates mocked her. Teachers misunderstood her. By the time she hit her teens, she'd heard every name in the book. Today, Ada manages her condition with compression wraps and therapy pumps, depending on what Medicaid can cover. Surgery is out of reach financially, but don't mistake that for defeat. She sings, she dances, and she shares her life online, the hard parts included. In 2024, she briefly went missing, and the internet rallied in fear. She was found safe. And now? She's still singing, still dancing. Her leg might resist, but Ada never does. She doesn't just live, she lives with fire and full volume. Number 4. The Folded Man. Li Hua spent nearly 3 decades folded in half, his face pressed against his chest, unable to stand, lie flat, or even make eye contact with the sky. Ankylosing spondylitis had slowly fused his spine into a permanent 90-degree bend. It started at 18. The curve worsened every year. By the time he was 40, he lived entirely in a human fold, eating, sleeping, breathing that way. Doctors for years called it inoperable, too risky, too complicated, until a team at Shenzhen University General Hospital, led by Dr. Tao Huiren, stepped forward. Over 4 intense surgeries, they cracked and rebuilt his spine piece by piece. Each operation was a gamble, but it paid off. For the first time in nearly 30 years, Li stood up. Not just physically, emotionally, spiritually. He didn't fight just for mobility. He fought for freedom. His story isn't just about a bent back, it's about unbreakable will. And that first upright breath, it wasn't just air, it was liberation. Number 3. Shardai Cusino. Shardai Cusino is 31 and lives with epidermolysis bullosa, a devastatingly rare disorder that leaves her skin so fragile it blisters and tears at the slightest touch. Doctors call it butterfly skin, but in truth, it's more like surviving with third-degree burns every single day. She grew up in Tennessee but moved to Palm Bay, Florida after high school, where she's built her life. Her mission? To live freely and fully, despite everything. And she's done just that, with the support of her sister, close friends, and family. Dating, though, has been a different kind of battle. She's dealt with men who weren't serious, just chasing flings. That's no longer what she's open to. Now she wants something genuine. I'm looking for someone consistent who can hold a real conversation and someone who's just kind, she says. She's giving blind dating another go. Will this time be different? She hopes so. And if anyone deserves love that lasts, it's Shardai. Number 2. Michiel and Amber Vanderweert. Michiel is 27, Amber is 19. They're siblings, best friends, and both living with Progeria, the rare genetic condition that accelerates aging dramatically. Most people with it don't make it past their teens, but these two are rewriting that timeline one fearless day at a time. Michiel feeds his thrill through go-kart racing, chasing speed and freedom. Amber dances, posts, creates, and shares her joy online. They don't dwell on the diagnosis. They live through it, full tilt. Together, they don't just survive. They shine. Their resilience is raw, their energy contagious, and their bond unshakable. Michiel hopes to break the age record for Progeria survivors, not to prove anything, but because he refuses to let a number decide when he's done. These two don't sugarcoat the hard days, but they don't surrender to them either. Every moment matters, and every time they show up, they're showing the world that joy doesn't come with a time limit. It's lived now. Number 1. Carnesia Patton. Carnesia Patton doesn't wait to be noticed. She arrives with presence, pride, and a purpose. Born with spina bifida, she's used a wheelchair since she was 3. It's my best friend and my worst enemy, she says. It helps her move, but reminds her of a world not built for her. Living in Birmingham, Carnesia's done shrinking herself to fit anyone's version of normal. She's working toward her MBA, holding down a job at a nail salon, training at the gym, and now? She's entering the fashion world. Not for the spotlight, but for visibility. She's already modeled in multiple events and dreams of seeing more bodies like hers on runways. More chairs, more difference, more truth. People like me exist, she says, and she makes sure we remember it. She's not waiting for a seat at the table. She's already rolling in with vision, voice, and velvet nails to match. And when she arrives, you don't forget her. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon in the next one.